Okay, today I'm here with my cousin, GhostADHD. We're going to be talking about
Unrelated.
Current events in the gaming world. Spider-Man 2, Starfield, Payday, new consoles, everything that you can think of right now that's currently trending. If you just stick with us for about the next hour, we'll have a lot of news to give to y'all on these topics.
The meats of the news and our opinions.
Correct. We have a lot of opinions.
Don't be offended.
So the first thing that we're going to be talking about is Spider-Man 2.
Yeah. Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man.
So one question that everybody has been talking about that we don't know, they're speculating that Peter could be Venom. Who do you think Venom really is?
It's Harry.
Think it's Harry?
It's most definitely Harry.
I mean, Insomniac, they don't like to make stuff, I guess, obvious. They could be trying to throw a curveball in there, make us think it's not.
I mean, we can look at the trailers again, and you're gonna see that. I mean, obviously, with the way the Venom story always plays out, he's gonna get the symbiote, it's gonna become attached to him, but I saw a thing in one of the trailers. Harry has cancer again, for some reason. It's like that Osborn curse thing that goes on in the lore.
I think I know the reason for that. At the end of Miles Morales, Harry's dad forces the people to take him out of that tank earlier than they said. And so maybe that's what, he probably wasn't fully healed yet.
Also, another prediction. I think we're gonna see the Green Goblin in this game.
Why, what makes you think that?
So there's a couple ways I think this can play out, right? I mean, right now we can see all the different villains and everything on the screen in this footage, but we've got Kraven. In the last game, we had Doc Ock, Vulture, Electro, Tombstone, Pinhead, whatever his name was.
Rhino.
No, not Rhino. Rhino was in it, yeah, that's another one, but the other guy, Flathead or something.
What?
I don't know what his name was, but he was in the
Martin
game.
Lee?
Martin Lee was in it, yeah, Mr. Negative. But no, that's not him either. The dude from the DLC, the last one.
Oh, Hammerhead.
Hammerhead, yeah.
Yeah, Flathead. Took a shot to the head and got resurrected in the DLC.
Then there were, I think, a few others, but I mean, that's a good bit of villains right there, but they did do the Sinister Six. And if we go back and we look through the different things that in the first game, you can find those little collectibles and things like that, where Peter will talk and there will be little backstories and things. So the people he's fought Sandman, he's fought the Lizard, he's fought everyone. This is him way later on in his life, past his origin story. Uncle Ben's dead. This is the second game, and we're just now, like, this is a entirely different universe on its own. So the fact that we're just now getting Venom means that, things could get way, way darker, right?
I think it will.
There's nothing that ever mentioned the Venom symbiote in the last game, so which is, Venom's appearing in this now.
Thanks to the Osborn money.
And he never fought Green Goblin. We're also getting the Lizard in this game. And there is a good possibility that I think Peter could die in this game, but I'm not sure. Because
if they did that, there would never be a Spider-Man 3, and I guess
there would be a Spider-Man 3, and it would be about Miles Morales. I don't really like that, though, not that much, not because I don't like Miles Morales. He's an amazing character, he's really well done, but
it's just not the same without the OG,
I feel like it's just gonna rub people the wrong way, because they did that in the Ultimate Comics, right? Spoilers for that, by the way, if you read the Ultimate Comics. I'm just going to go ahead and say it.
Yeah, it's too late.
Peter dies in the Ultimate Comics, all right? Ultimate Green Goblin kills Peter. But it's a weird storyline because Ultimate Earth and then another one of the comics get put together and they share the same universe on War World or something. I don't know. It's been a while since I've watched it. Hey!
Sorry about the guys. The cat was scratching.
That's Trevor Bob. Some people call him Cheddar Bob because he's a fat boy. He was scratching his neck.
But anyways, on this gameplay, what are your thoughts on Miles' new abilities?
I don't know, man. I mean, it's just, the gameplay is going to be good. The abilities are going to be good. The skill system's going to be good. The first game was so good. I mean, there's only up to go from where they were at. It had a good story. Spoiler, Aunt May died. I didn't really like the Miles Morales game, though. I mean, I liked it. It was really fun. It had an interesting enough story. It was just really short.
Yeah, it was short.
And it felt corporate as hell. Like, it was like Sony told them, you need to do this. Like, we're making you. That's kind of what it felt like.
Weren't many villains in that game?
Characters that can get annoying, possibly. I'm looking at it right now. That little birdie that just flew by. I don't think I'm gonna like Ginky that much as a side character.
Give me that. Ginky's interesting. So this shot of Peter Parker, I really, really like. The symbiote, like, looking like a messy hair day. You know what I'm saying? When you wake up. What are your thoughts on this suit? Because it's very liquidy in this game, unlike like Spider-Man 3 universe or stuff like that. Venom's suit is more wet.
It's pretty moist.
Yes, like very at many points.
I think also, I want to predict deaths in this game. We know Harry's gonna die. That much is obvious. There's two ways the Venom thing can go. Either they're gonna pull the rug out from under us and Peter will become Venom. Or and if Peter becomes Venom, Harry becomes the Green Goblin. Or Harry can stay Venom, and then Osborn will be the Green Goblin. Because the Collector's Edition statue, it shows Peter and Miles fighting Venom.
Correct.
The first thing that was ever shown for this game was Peter and Miles fighting Kraven's dudes, and then Venom shows up out of the shadows. That's Harry.
You didn't even have the Spidey symbol, though.
But another thing, if there's a whole thing with Peter starting to work at the Daily Bugle, then we could also get Eddie Brock. Then Harry can still become Green Goblin.
I think Insomniac came out and said that Eddie Brock is not Venom. Pretty sure. Pretty sure I read something of that somewhere.
Well, I mean, like, the whole thing with Eddie Brock, I mean, Eddie Brock's kind of just been used so many times, you know? Like, Spider-Man is the one thing in Marvel that is pretty hard to screw up. right? I think Spider-Man's arguably everyone's favorite Marvel character. For me, growing up, it was Spider-Man and Wolverine, right? I love the X-Men. I love Spider-Man. I didn't really care about any of the other heroes. I mean, hang on just a second. Bro, can you not salt on your food, fat ass?
So we do know that Martin Lee is back. We also know that there's this character called the Wraith. They think that Yuri has become the Wraith, as it shows a scene with this woman with two whips in her hand. So that's potentially 2 more villains right there. So we got the Lizard, Venom, Kraven, Wraith, Martin Lee. That's already 5, and potentially Green Goblin, if that happened. There's a lot of possibilities. But overall, Spider-Man 2 has so much potential to be Game of the Year. It's either that or Tears of the Kingdom will get Game of the Year, I think, if they do it right. I do think this game will be very dark, I hope. Always like a dark Spider-Man story. And I think that this mission is very soon after Venom gets the symbiote.
You mean Peter?
Peter Parker, yes. Peter Parker's symbiote, I'm pretty sure this is soon.
Well, the question with this is that how long is the game? Because the first one was about, I want to say 15, 20 hours, right? Is this one going to be 20, 25 hours, 30 hours? Like, how much is really going to be going on in this game? Also, the thing where you can play as Peter or Miles and you can switch between them. Does that mean that we're going to have some sort of 2-lane choice thing in the story? Like, we're going to choose who dies, who lives, something like that. Also, the map expansion in the game, we have Queens now, Queens, New York. In the beginning of the gameplay, we can see Peter Parker coming out of the basement of his house.
That's the basement of his house. I did not know that.
Yeah, that's his house. Why would he be... Whose house would he be in Queens?
I don't know. He might be eating someone in there.
I think Gwen Stacy could appear in this game as well.
Dan TDL.
What is this shit popping up on the screen, and why is your mouse not working? Fuck off, Dan.
What are your thoughts on... Okay, so what are your thoughts on the new character models? I know Miles Morales has a new hairstyle. MJ looks 70 years old.
I think their entire excuse of we needed a face with more... They needed a face they could have better animations on is complete bullshit, to be honest. Because, let's be honest, they just wanted him to look like Tom Holland, and he just looks like... He just looks weird now. Like, it's a weird thing to do, because they had the other guy, I forgot his name, playing Peter Parker in the first one, and he looked good as Peter Parker, you know?
He looked like he was older.
Yeah, he looked like an older Spider-Man, but now they've got this dude in here. He just... I don't know, it's a weird choice. It's not something that's going to completely turn me off from the game or bother me too much. I don't really care that much. It's just a weird decision to make, and it's not really one that's creative either. It wasn't a creative decision, I don't think. It's just something they wanted. I don't know, man. It was that whole thing was just weird.
I don't know. Honestly,
What the fuck, man?
360p.
It's just getting on my nerves.
But yeah, character models are cool for the most part. Peter Parker, he's okay. I mean, they improved the new look. But,
Well,
you know,
if you want to get into like, we needed people with better faces for animations. Why the fuck does Harry look like a PS4 character then? MJ looks like somebody's mom.
yeah.
Miles looks like he's ready to go to a
Okay, so that scene, the scene that just happened. Okay, so there's Martin Lee. You see Peter. That's the Ray.
Wait, that's Martin Lee?
Yeah.
Damn, bro got old as shit.
Yeah, his hair got longer. That's MJ hiding from Peter. And that's the Lizard. Craven Hunter. Harry. Peter. Harry.
See,
Peter. MJ. Miles. Harry.
here's what we need to do. We need to go through this and pause on some of these different scenes. Right here we get a good look at Harry's face in 4K.
The teeth are not great. Arguing on that,
Arguably,
teeth are amazing.
you know, if this thing would load, if YouTube wouldn't be a fucking shit show, we could actually see things. Alright, that's gonna irritate the shit out of your viewers and they're gonna stop listening. So we've got this, that is some crazy chest hair, bro.
Green makeup as well.
That is the nastiest happy trail I've ever seen in my life. Looks like they're in a laboratory or something. Probably, you know what, Oscorp? Probably Oscorp.
People think that was the mission right before he gets the symbiote.
Peter can also fly now, so new tech. Or is the symbiote thing gonna be a choice? Again, is this gonna be a two-way story? Because we're gonna have Venom skills, a symbiote skill tree in the game. Is it gonna be something along the lines of Prey, where if you further upgrade your, like in that game you had skills because you had some kind of alien thing in you and you could further your skills with the alien thing, but in turn it would change the way the game played out overall, not the ending, but the way the game played out and the way that you had to approach different situations. Is this game gonna do something along the lines of that, where if you decide that you want to go along with what's with the symbiote skills, is that gonna affect the outcome of the story? I mean, I think it's possible, but
there definitely won't be a choice whether Peter gets the symbiote or not, because if Peter doesn't get it, then there's no story. Unless you just, Venom is completely excluded, which that would never happen.
another thing, Venom has the Spider-Man logo on his chest, while someone else is Venom, right?
Mm-hmm.
That only happens after the symbiote has attached itself to Peter's suit, because Venom likes the logo.
Correct.
Venom, in the comics and usually in most Spider-Man things, Venom is completely obsessed with Peter Parker.
But wants to kill Spider-Man after.
Oh, this is an interesting clip right here.
This
A little bit of backstory. It looks like we're gonna see where the symbiote came from.
It's an alien, confirmed.
Obviously,
Miles' hair.
I think Miles looks a little weird. His hairstyle's a little weird in this game. And to be honest, After seeing Spider-Verse, I like Spider-Verse's version of Miles a lot more than this version of Miles.
Like the look?
No, just the character overall, you know?
Right.
The look, the style, the personality, everything about him is just better in Spider-Verse than it is in the game. And I know it's two completely different versions of Miles, but still, man, like, Spider-Verse is good as hell.
Okay, guys, before we get on to the next part, got a little brother up here for a minute. He's gonna talk on his thoughts of Spider-Man 2 and what he expects, while I go take a quick bathroom break. You sit in this chair, you put the headset on, and then you just talk about the game with them for a minute. Sit down. Kind of scoot up closer to the microphone so that way it can hear you. There you go. You should be good from right there. All right, I'll be right back.
What do you think about Spider-Man 2?
I think it'll be amazing.
Are you gonna play Spider-Man 2?
Yeah.
You don't gotta get that close to the microphone. Do you think it's gonna be better than the first game?
Yeah, of course.
Are you gonna let Zayd spoil it all for you?
Nah. Nah.
You wanna play it yourself?
I also want to watch him play it, though. At the same time, yeah.
Do you wanna play it before he plays it?
I might have to think about that one.
You wanna play it yourself first before you watch him play it?
Yeah. And he's probably going to end up playing it first. Which, I'm okay with that.
What do you think's gonna happen in the game? You think Peter's gonna die?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
But as you saw in Spider-Man 3, I'm not going to spoil it, actually.
You can spoil it.
Yeah, but you saw in Spider-Man 3 that Venom is his weakness is sound. So.
Also fire.
Yeah, that too.
Got a good shot of Venom right there. He's got the Spider-Man logo on his back.
Yeah.
That
And
is-
after he also does, that means, like, he's out of his suit and he's strong. He's ready to fight.
That's when Venom becomes Venom.
Yeah. Which Venom is crazy himself.
That's definitely Harry Osborn in there.
Yeah. It's gotta be. Because he's literally destroying everything, and that's what he did mostly. Yeah, that's what he always had. As Venom, he just is pure evil.
He's not pure evil, he just likes eating people.
I think he just likes the taste of it. I think to him it's satisfying.
Are those all your thoughts?
I also think, like, Venom is probably going to be the final boss in the game. Which, that makes sense. And this game's probably going to be way longer than the first.
Hmm.
Which, for me, when I played Spider-Man on the PS4, I really had nothing else to do but just explore. So I mostly just fought crimes and all that. So I don't really play it that much. Don't really play it often, but yeah, that's what I have to do. Right now, my main quest and stuff. Which, it better be longer than Miles Morales. Miles Morales is way, way too short.
It better be longer than both of them with all the things that they're doing.
Yeah.
Either way, it'll probably be a really good story.
Mm-hmm.
Those all your thoughts?
Yes. That.
You may leave the studio now, if you please. I do also really like this shot of MJ hiding from Peter.
Mm-hmm.
Miles breaking into Craven's something. The symbiote, or Peter on top of the lizard, Dr. Connors.
The roar is messing up his suit.
And the whole thing was, with Dr. Connors and the gameplay was Peter was saying that Dr. Connors is the only person that can save Harry. So a lot of this seems like him trying to save Harry, and then a lot of it is,
Flashback scenes.
Harry becoming angry. And there's what I think is Harry on top of that helicopter.
Vehicles coming up behind him.
Because this is classic Venom right here with the logo on his chest after.
They said they don't want to follow the comics. They want to make their own story, so
I think either Peter or Miles have to die in the story, too. I think one of them has to die. One of them might die, something like that. I'm not entirely sure.
one good notice, if you go back to that shot, it's very hard to, you don't have to, but when MJ's hiding from Peter Parker, people pointed out that that suit looks like it's evolving, and that your suit could evolve throughout the story.
It more than likely will.
So I think that's a cool aspect of gameplay, story progression. Okay, so moving on to the next game that we're going to be talking about here today. We've got Payday 3. Dude over here has played the beta. So
Hang on, you gotta give me a second. I got something to drink.
Oh yeah, buddy. Do you have it?
That's why my toothbrush stays in a drawer.
Yeah. Payday 3 beta. Thoughts on that?
Amazing. I honestly cannot wait to play the game. I never played Payday 2. Surprise, surprise. But I started playing it recently this year, and it was fun. Good little bank robbery arcade game, but this one seems like it's going a bit above the arcadey type of feeling. It's still like run and gun type of thing, but there's a lot more teamwork, it seems like, involved with how you conduct yourself during a heist, and there's two different ways you can do every heist, which is you either go in loud or quiet. And the stealth gameplay in this game from the first little heist that I played was really, really good. And I mean, like, it just gives you this cool little feeling of like There's switches you have to flip. You have to hack computers, hack cameras. There's stealth builds you can do. The skills tree is insane. I could not understand a fuck on that thing, but let me tell you, it looks cool as shit. Alright? It's cool as hell, man. I cannot wait to play that game. I wish it would come out sooner, before Starfield, before my life becomes Starfield, if it's good. And the game's launching with 8 heists instead of 10 or 12 like in Payday 2. There's DLCs, but they're launching the game at $40, and the gold editions or whatnot raise up in price. I don't know the exact prices of them. There's a collector's edition out for $130, which is one of the cheapest I've seen for a game, and that's like $130 for a collector's edition. And you've got Ubisoft, who usually launches an Ultimate Edition with just a steelbook and a couple goodies and time savers, you know, because they like to waste your time and make you spend money to not have the grind in their games and just give you a steelbook. Payday 3, all the DLCs, a mask, steelbook, a couple other things for $130. I pre-ordered it. I'm someone who pre-orders games. Call me a dumbass if you want. I pre-ordered Cyberpunk, not the collector's edition, but I got it. That game came out, sucked. Dying Light 2 came out, sucked. Stories for other times, but Payday 3 looks good. The beta was surprisingly pretty solid. Wasn't very buggy. I encountered a few things here and there. The one thing that irritated me the most... Stop! Sorry.
You raped me.
The one thing that irritated me the most about the beta was the people. The people that I played with. That was the only downside I could find about the beta. And the fact that there wasn't more for me to play. So there may be a lack of content when the game comes out. Possibly. But I do know in time they're going to keep updating that game, and Payday is what Overkill is good at, because I remember when The Walking Dead came out, I didn't buy it, and I loved The Walking Dead. And that shocked the hell out of me that I thought about that and watched a video on it the other day. I think I watched Forge Labs do a review on it, and it was very similar to Payday, but just very poorly done. But Payday 3 looks, it looks like Payday. It looks like the new and improved version of that. It really feels like a step up from what they did before, from what I played. I think it's going to be good. Just more Payday. I mean, it's not a story game. It has a story, but you know, you play it for fun. You play it with your friends to rob banks, make money, get cool guns. The gun systems, the customization system, everything along with it looks good. The only downside to everything could be microtransactions and cosmetics, or possibly even a battle pass, which I don't think they're going to do. The game does have a season pass that comes with the gold editions of the game, which means you'll have to pay to get new heists, and I think they're adding 4 new heists with the first season pass, which I don't know how I feel about, because that'll bring the game up to 12, which is what Payday 2 launched with. But either way, I'm just hoping that they update the game for years to come. After the game comes out, they're going to move the engine over to UE5, and the game, I think it's going to be good. It's going to be fun. It's just more Payday. It's a pretty simple thing.
So how long were you able to play the beta for?
I was able to play the beta for a few days, and when I was playing it, I didn't want to stop playing it. There's such a lack of content in terms of games right now that, you know, if you're not someone who plays on PC, if you play on just console, there's not a lot out right now. And the PS5 and the Series X have been out for almost 3 years now, or have been out for 3 years, going on 4. And we've hardly seen anything out of them. We got Miles Morales, Demon Souls, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Zero Dawn 2, Stray, a few other things, Sifu. But that's not a lot for 3 years compared to what the PS4 had when it came out. And I mean, I'm talking in the sense of first-party games, right? Xbox has had kind of the same issue. They had Halo Infinite. It flopped, right? Redfall flopped. Complete utter dog shit. They had a few other games launch, and there's just not that many games coming out that are good at the moment.
Or at least games that won't last very long. Like, people will play them first, but then the hype will die down, and then no one will ever remember the game came out.
So everyone's chasing this live service thing right now, even with Payday 2, Payday 3. Payday 3 is going to be a live service, but with the way the game is structured, it would work and not feel like something that's just purely corporate like Call of Duty. There's a severe lack of content and things to play right now. That's why personally I'm trying to get a PC and move away from consoles forever, because I'm just absolutely tired of them. Next year we're supposed to be getting a PS5 Pro, and it's supposed to have all of this extra stuff to it, better graphics, and they're focusing on 8K of all things, instead of trying to get things to run at 4K 120, which is what they marketed the original fucking consoles to do. And not only that, but all of the backwards compat games, most of them don't even run at 60 anymore, not even 4K, unless you're playing on a Series X, where backwards compatibility was a focus for them since the Xbox One, an entire generation before. I don't really see much of a reason to buy those things, because the way now I feel like they market it, they feel severely underpowered at this point. Like, a 3070 can do more than a PS5 or a Series X, it feels like. And just in terms of what you can do. I mean, in general, that's just PC gaming and console. I mean, you kind of know what you're getting into whenever you get those, but it's gotten to a point where
just get a PC.
I don't really feel like with the way consoles are going anymore, it's going to be very sufficient. Like, the PS5 Pro is going to come out, and it's going to have an 8K setting and then maybe 4K 120, but at that point, like, what's the point in buying it when the only thing they really have coming out right now is Spider-Man 2? Like, we're not going to get The Last of Us Factions or God of War 3 or any God of War remakes. We're not going to get I forgot what those two games were called. Resistance games. We're not going to get Killzone. We're not going to get a new Horizon.
Console gaming is just not what it used to be, but we've got some great new games coming out, though. Speaking about the PS5 Pro, the Switch 2, I don't even care if it doesn't run 4K. Switch games really don't need to run 4K. 60 frames is my main thing.
Let's be honest here. He's a Switch fanboy. Don't tell anyone I said that, but he's a Switch fanboy. He grew up on Zelda.
I would admit to that. I mean, I'm a Zelda person. My main gaming content is
Oh, you
Zelda.
heard me. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Everyone's got their favorite console. Alright, anyways. What do you want with the Nintendo Switch 2? You want 60 FPS? Is that a must-have for you? If it doesn't have 60 FPS, are you going to get it?
I'm sure it will. I'm sure
But if it doesn't, would you still get it?
Yes, I would.
But why?
Huh?
Why would you still get it if it didn't have 60 FPS?
I'm also hoping about it, though, that
If the Switch 2 doesn't have 60 FPS, what would make it any different from the first one? Not really anything, right?
yeah. But
The mics are picking that up, by the way. If you don't want the audio of that in the background, you gotta take the wrapper off and just bring the food. Better not drop that on my bed. I'll stick my finger in your butt and give you butternut.
Anyways, Asher, continue for a few more minutes.
So, if the Nintendo Switch 2 doesn't have 60 FPS, what would be the point in getting it? How can you justify it?
also, though, if it does have different Joy-Cons with, like, those grips, just the Joy-Con, but the Joy-Con actually comes with a grip, like a Joy-Con with
But then that would essentially just be a better screen and a better controller. What makes it any different? Another thing is, what if you can't play your Nintendo Switch games on the Switch 2?
What do you mean by that?
What if they're not backwards compatible? All the games you have on your Switch now, if you can't put them in your Switch 2 and play them, and you have to buy them all over again, would you still get it?
Probably not.
You'd feel kind of scammed, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would.
It's because it would be. It'd be a scam.
Has he spoken about Tears of the Kingdom yet?
No. What'd you think about Tears of the Kingdom?
It's amazing.
Don't spoil it for me. I'll beat you up.
I won't.
I'm gonna get Lucy to I'm gonna get the dog to poop on your head while you're sleeping.
No.
I'm gonna make it thunder outside.
How?
I'll play really loud thunder noises up here on my TV.
So Asher, explain your thoughts on, the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. What would you like it better than Breath of the Wild?
Obviously, everyone likes it better than Breath of the Wild.
No, what did he like better on Tears of the Kingdom other than Breath of the Wild? What features did you like? What did you like about it compared?
Like, there's more map.
The everything.
Yes.
The everything, pretty much. I think that's how everyone feels.
Yeah.
Everything from the first game they did 2 times better than they did in the first game. That's what everyone liked about it. That's what I liked about it.
Yeah.
It's like I played it on your Switch and then everyone left and I couldn't play it for like 3 days. I was depressed, man. I had to sit there and wait for my chance to play it again. I was sitting there. I was like, dude, I want to play this game. Like, there's nothing else I want to play right now. I just want to play Zelda.
When will you beat it?
Either soon or a few years from now when Zelda 3 comes out. It's one of those games I don't want to beat it. Like, I want it to just keep going on and on and on.
If you're not playing, you're not getting that satisfaction.
What I will probably do, right? I'll probably beat it when I get a PC. I'll beat it, then I'll replay it with better graphics on a PC. And if there's ever a co-op mod for it, there's even more enticement for me to replay it because that's just gonna be fun, man. Like, Zelda in co-op just sounds amazing. Like, any single player game that just has co-op as a plus is just good, you know? I would say Dying Light 2, but they screwed it up and ruined one of my favorite game franchises, even though it's like mediocre and a 5 out of 10 at best. So it's a fun game. And they ruined it. They ruined it. It sucked. They lied to me and misled me. And they false advertised the game when I was in like 8th grade.
Starfield. That's the game we're about to talk about now. It comes out next month. We're less than a month away.
Jesus Christ, it comes out next month,
We're
man.
less than a month away from the world release of Starfield. Asher, what do you expect to see out of that game?
Tons of exploration.
Anything else?
All right, you're not speaking for IGN here. You have free will.
What else do you want out of Starfield?
I think he wants to find the biggest fan, dude. The biggest fan.
Oh yeah, him. Oh my goodness, it's the hero of the legend.
Oh my God, it's really you.
Ghost, what were your thoughts on the...
I can't believe I'm standing here, breathing the same air. I've got to have every molecule.
The gameplay, the direct. What were your favorite things that came out of that?
Don't look at me. You figure you can talk.
Answer in your own words.
Answer in your own words, even if the first word that comes to mind is donkey booty.
What?
Go on.
One of my favorite parts about the direct is also how there's just different things. Like in the beginning, there's like family and all that other stuff, which I really don't even know how to.
What do you mean family?
I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, basically, yeah.
Just keep talking. Keep explaining.
And also just everything, the planets and all that other stuff, and yeah. And how you can just travel in different universes and
Over 1,000 total planets to explore. Over 1,000.
The only thing about them is that there's going to be a lot of planets that are just empty. Just there for resources or building but that's where mods come in, because this game comes out and it's as polished as they say it is, which I'm really, really skeptical about. Obviously, I think the game's going to be buggy, but I don't think it's going to be something on the scale of Cyberpunk, where the game was literally just unfinished. This is Xbox's big thing, right? They bought Call of Duty, they bought Activision, but I mean, Call of Duty is kind of just a yearly thing,
Call of Duty only on Xbox now?
No, it's still coming to PlayStation, but every other Activision Blizzard game is now an exclusive to Xbox, because Sony didn't sign that deal that they were offered prior. So they kind of screwed themselves over. They shot themselves in the foot with that. But Starfield's an Xbox exclusive. PC and Xbox. Right?
Yeah.
I'm just going to come right out and say it. In I don't feel guilty about it at all. I love and hate Bethesda. I'm a Bethesda fanboy, right? I'm a Rockstar Games fanboy. I love Halo. I'm not like up the asses of these companies shouting from the top of the mountain, PlayStation sucks or anything. Like, I look at everything with a very morally gray kind of stance on it. I guess, if that's a word,
Right.
a sentence, I don't know, man. I just kind of like shot myself in the head trying to figure out that. I don't know where I'm going with this.
Well, here's one thing.
Let's just hope Todd Howard isn't telling any more sweet little lies, you know?
That would be great if he wasn't. I really hope he's not.
This is the biggest thing they've done since Skyrim. I was so excited for Fallout 4 when it came out. I was a naive, bright-eyed little 6th grader. And it's crazy to think about because I'm like about to be 20 years old.
Right.
And we're just now getting like a new full-fledged game from Bethesda, you know? The last thing they made was Fallout 76, and that game was nothing. It was literally like you stepped on a cockroach and swept it on the rug, and then found it again a few years later, and it's on Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
That game sucked. It was utter dog shit, you know, like, but I don't think Starfield's gonna be bad in any way. With the level of like the RPG stuff they're focusing on here, silent protagonist, all of the different dialogue options, I think it's gonna be what we're hoping for. Obviously, the game is going to have bugs. It's Bethesda. But from what they're saying, they said that they've spent like a year, almost 2 years, just polishing the game. This was supposed to release back in like 2021, I think. And it's coming out in a month now. So I think the game is ready. Obviously, the game's being capped out at 30 FPS on Series X. I'm not very happy about that. I would rather there be a performance mode, but maybe they'll add that down the line. I'm not sure. That just kind of goes with the thing I said earlier about the consoles being super underpowered, it feels like.
Could I run at 60 FPS on my PC?
Yeah, you can. You can run it at 60 frames on your PC.
Sweet.
Because you can change the settings and stuff, but for some reason, you know, it's just not possible on consoles, you know? It's not really something I understand, but...
If you're a daily viewer of my channel, Marvel Spider-Man 2 gameplay Let's Play will start the day it releases on the 20th.
Did Breath of the Wild already win Game of the Year?
Yeah.
It did?
Yep.
Okay. Well, we've got a bunch of big games coming out this year, and I think the main contenders are going to be between God of War Ragnarok. Wait. Did that come out last year?
Maybe it was last year.
I'm not sure. It's going to be between Spider-Man 2, Starfield, Tears of the Kingdom, and was there another game? Another big one?
Pikmin.
You're funny. No.
I know I am. Let's take this moment to stop to shout out some people that have been viewing my channel since the first day. I guess they have been. We've got Nasty Clips, who's been watching me for about a month, commenting pretty frequently. So thank you to you for viewing my stuff. And Sarah, or Sophia, whichever one, thanks to you as well. Shout out to both of y'all for returning to each video. And I appreciate y'all. Okay,
Excuse
the the planets. You said you think the planets are going to be empty on a lot of them.
A good bit of them, yeah. A good bit of them are going to be empty. There's 1,000 planets, but I think around 100 of them are going to have cities and stuff on them. That's kind of what was said.
They better. I mean, they made this game for 7 years developing this game.
And I mean, like, the game is procedurally generated, right? All the planets, they're going to have different things on them, but they're still going to have a bunch of scattered stuff through them. Like, you're going to just stumble upon random shit in this game. Kind of like in Red Dead 2 with the random events or, different things in Fallout 3 or New Vegas. And I think New Vegas was kind of the pinnacle of, like, the choices and the RPG stuff as far as Bethesda games go. Skyrim's quests felt a little linear to me. Fallout 4 was straight up just linear to me. Like, you had dialogue options, but it was just stuff where you were deciding whether to be nice or to be a dick. And with that not really having any effect in my later years of life, I had decided to just be a dick to everyone because it was funny.
Yeah, I mean, the Telltale games, my dad likes to pick bad choices as well as a joke. Because they think it's funny.
They don't really have any effect, though, you know? Like, it's a two-way thing. Oh, either he dies or he dies, but he dies later anyways. It doesn't really have any major effect. Have you played all the Telltale games of The Walking Dead?
Yes.
You've played all of them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me pull out an example real quick.
The
Kenny and Jane in Season 2. Now, they make it look like Kenny dies one of two ways in the first game. Second one, you can shoot Kenny, leave Kenny, or go with Jane or leave Jane, right?
Right.
There's a good bit of variations to that. You can leave Wellington with Kenny, stay at Wellington and leave Kenny. You can let Kenny kill Jane, shoot Kenny. You can save Jane and kill Kenny. You can let Kenny kill Jane and then leave Kenny. You can go with Jane.
I think
or
the
you
most
can
messed
leave
up
Jane.
option is to let Kenny kill Jane and then shoot Kenny.
Yeah, it does add a good emotional thing to it, and it kind of like gives Kenny a good ending because he lost his mind after his family died. Personally, I do like it when Kenny lives, but in Season 3, Kenny's in the game for like 3 episodes and he's not present, and he just he dies in a car accident. And then at the beginning of the game, Jane literally just hangs herself because she's pregnant with Luke's baby, I just I hated it in Telltale games when, they could have done a lot more with.
They were both going to die either way.
I don't really like the aspect of delaying the inevitable. I wish it was something more along the lines of, like, Detroit Become Human, Telltale's games isn't something that are they're not something that are very graphically demanding,
Mm-hmm.
And with the way Season 2 turned out, I feel like they could have added a lot more choices. Of course, that's a lot of writing, a lot of dialogue. There's a lot of work that goes into that, but I feel like it would have, made a better product. And that's why I like games like this, because it really does give you that sense of there's so many different things you can do. Like in Starfield, I'm thinking that you can literally just, this guy right here, this business dude, you can just walk up to him and put a bullet in his head. And
That'd be cool.
There's consequences. You can kill anyone, It would kind of break the story a little bit, but still in the sense of, like, it just makes the game fun, There's so many different things you can do. You can have illegal things on your ship, contraband. You can be a pirate, a smuggler. You can steal people's ships. You can murder entire planets, like.
What's your playstyle going to be?
I kind of want to be, it's a role-playing game. It's an RPG, action RPG. I'm kind of just like, if an NPC is trying to like lead me on with some shit, I'm probably gonna be a dick to him. I kind of want to play like a Star-Lord who would kill people.
You already know there's gonna be some horny players on this game.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, I can't wait to like find the hottest romanceable female in the game and adopt children and live out on a planet and call it Colorado. And just live there and randomly bring back ships full of corpses with loot. It'll be so fun.
Yeah, this game will hours and hours and hours and hours and hours could be put into it for sure. For sure.
My first goal is going to be to find the skull mask in the game. That's going to be my first goal, is to find the fucking skull mask. There better be. If there's not, I'm going to be pretty upset, and I'm going to have to start downloading some mods. Of course, like, the NPCs do look a little weird, but it's not really something that bothers me that much. I mean, it's a fucking video game, man. You know, like, obviously,
I ain't gonna cap.
Obviously, there's Uncanny Valley shit in this game. They've been working on this thing since Fallout 4, right? They've been working on it for years, like for a long, long time. This is Todd Howard's passion project. Like, this is his dream game that he's always wanted to make, from what I've heard. So, I think it's going to be good. It might be buggy, but I don't think it's going to be anything like Cyberpunk.
I think it'll run well, hopefully.
I think that most of what we were shown, everything that we were shown, is going to be in the game. And there's not anything that's going to be pulled or removed. I think what we're seeing is the game, you know?
They sure showed it. They did show a lot.
I think they did a pretty good job with the direct and marketing it and telling you what the game's going to be. And like right here on this screen, you can see that there's a bounty. You know, you can have bounties. You can have people that come after you, bounty hunters and stuff, so you can commit crimes. It seems like there's a lot of different play styles, and they're finally like going full RPG. And
right.
In general, I just think it's going to be a good game, you know. I think that's about all we have to talk about.
Yeah, so episode 2 of the podcast will be with my father in a week or two. Mm-hmm. We're going to be talking about current events and our thoughts on the state of TikTok, YouTube, now X, which was known as Twitter.
It's garbage, all of it, terrible, corporate. Money.
TikTok is only good for trying to get out there quickly.
TikTok, manipulating society and changing people's opinions on everything.
Anyways,
destroying relationships.
I hope you guys enjoyed listening, and we'll see you.
And bonus note, Modern Warfare 3 is coming out. That's about it. All I have to say on that is just Call of Duty. Another Call of Duty game.
True that. Peace out.